started. There we go, because we could tense this down to a YouTube video and then let people access the full thing here on Facebook. And then let me get chat pulled back up. All right. And let me get the story. So where we left off, you guys are back at the Foaming Flask Inn. Make sure you swear lots for the camera, Prook. Where we left off, you guys were at the Foaming Flask. I'm just going to rename it. We're just going to put like an L right there so I can get it correct. And you guys have been given money which has been deposited into accounts, and Flavius, your Imperial contact, said that he was going to have further work for you guys to do. And so, sure enough, on the next day, he shows up along with, sorry, I've got to get the new name here, Walks in Darkness, our newest Argonian friend. Picture is in the Discord, characters section. And says, greetings, adventurers. Please, if you would, have a drink with me. He goes up to the bar, sits down, and begins to talk through the backstories for Walks in Darkness. Just explains who they are, that they've been moved over here, and that he has the full confidence in their ability, and that they will be joining you for your expedition. Time goes by, and I should caveat, you guys are welcome. The way I do the story here, hail marsh friend, I shall accept this drink. You guys just feel free to type in and I'll weave stuff into the story based on what is typed. Hail friends. Or, ooh, how can I throw on an Argonian accent? Ooh, I've never tried to do an Argonian. Strong mead, and we've got, what's his name? Bloodfallen with us, Victor?
Thank you.
Hail, friends. Hail, marsh friend. I shall accept this drink. From Medals with Glee, our other Argonian. I think that makes Argonians, they are now tied for Nords as our primary race. So anyway, the drinks commence. Flavius has covered everything. Food is dispensed, and after what's probably about 10 minutes of various merrymaking, he sees that the Imperial Matthias has said that he will drink to more adventuring, and Flavius says, as you well know, we shall move to the basement. As you move down into your favorite tavern's basement, you all assume positions as not Medals with Glee, Walks in Darkness, just finds a nice shadow back here in the back where the dark Argonian skin just seemingly fades with the stone wall. 1 second. Leave my foot alone. You nuisance. You nuisance furballs. Get. I had both of them going for my feet. So, Flavius's jovial attitude turns more stern, and his face, which while burned on one side, it loses the smile that it had once had and returns to what can only be described as a scowl. Adventurers, we know that there is a group seeking to undermine the Emperor. It appears that our necromancer friend had acquired the Daedric text you had found regarding summoning. Summoning what, we are uncertain, but it was of interest to those cultists you encountered. What I am requesting that you do, and we are willing to offer ample payment for, is for you to investigate these cultists. What we don't know who they are, we don't know who or what they worship, and more importantly, we do not know what they want. Lucky for you, we do know where they are. Our Imperial scouts reported that a destroyed fort northwest of Skingrad has been occupied. If possible, we would like you to gain entry and find an answer to any of the questions we have. I warn you, officially, we do not know about the occupation of that fort ruin. And the Imperials have no plans to visit that site. You guys are going on an unofficial basis. Do we understand one another? You mean lots of money, yes. It will be sufficient. More than enough to cover any costs you incur. Not too surprised. You said everything we would be doing was under the table. He nods. Yes, I just find reason to remind you on occasion, as adventurers have short money when coin is involved. Matthias, you understand well. We will not seek to cut you loose, and should you not return, we will organize a patrol to rescue you. However, we need to keep this need-to-know basis, as we do not know who within the Empire may or may not be conspiring with these cultists. I betray a little there, as I say we do suspect that there are traitors at high level within the Empire seeking to overthrow the Emperor. And we would rather keep them in the dark as long as possible. And keeping you on a need-to-know basis is part of that. Medals thinks she needs more ingredients for potions. Yes, what I could give you is this, Alchemist. He reaches into what is his satchel and produces what's a simple voucher. This voucher is for 5 ingredients of your choice from any of the Imperial vendors. They can be picked up here locally or in Skingrad. Matthias, looking left, looking right. I don't know about the lizards. I'm in. Completely ignoring the fact that the Nord, standing right behind him, has also not said anything. Or perhaps not forgetting, more ignoring. Watch your mouth, dry skin. Argonian, not lizard. What's the Mulan quote? I don't do that tongue thing. It's been forever since I've seen Mulan. Bloodfallen, stepping up. I'm in. Hope there's more cultists to kill for extra gold. Flavius looks at you. Your target this time is the cultists. It will be included in your payment. But yes, should you happen to find additional groups, the bounty still stands. Matthias forgets the service medals with glee provides for him. Kayleen wandering down. Sometimes I wish to be sent on Imperial business. And what do we do in an unlike possibility we run into an Imperial of the Empire? The half-breed between the Imperial and the Nord would remove the helmet of her ancient Imperial armor. Ah, yes. So Kayleen is half Imperial, half Nord, taking after, if I recall correctly, the Nordic side. But I'd have to look on the sheet to remind myself. Yep, after the Nordic side. Relax, Metals. Did you lose your sense of humor? The banter goes back and forth, and very shortly... Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to have pulled that up to remind you. Cultist bad. There's Flavius. Sans the burns. There we go. You guys are on your way to Skingrad. I can remember my own pictures. This is easy. Next time when I write a script down, I need to put in triggers for when I'm supposed to switch slides. Because, reminder, it's those cultists. Yeah. The directions he give you are from the city of Skingrad, and as such, you guys begin your path to Skingrad. The road itself, lightly traveled. You do pass several Imperial caravans, each of them heading west. You guys would note that the Empire has begun east. They're heading east. The Empire has begun focusing its troops on the eastern border with Morrowind, as the Argonian occupation of Morrowind is active during this time in history. There's also rumors that there are disturbances happening down in Black Marsh and potentially in Morrowind. Oh, he has a kitty. Kitty. You arrive at Skingrad, and you guys are going to have a decision here. Do you guys want to investigate Skingrad, see if you can gather info here, or would you rather move directly on to the fort? Dragonborn with a point for investigate. The gate is open. People are being allowed in. The guards just inspect you and you can see them noting who you are on your way in, just so that if they end up having to clean something up or get any reports, they know that you've wandered in. Staff requests to head on over to the inn. So Metals and Walks go ahead and begin poking around Skingrad. I have speech skill for just such as this. So what you guys are going to need to do, we've engaged in an encounter. The encounter is your guys' investigation of Skingrad. You guys are welcome to tell me what you are doing. I'll join from here. Yep, you have been with them thus far. So you'll be asking who you want to talk to. And so we'll start up at the top, which was... Let's see, who was heading to the inn? That was not Metals. Walks in Darkness heading to the inn. You guys have arrived probably about 3, 4 in the afternoon, given that you would have been having lunch. The inn, I don't remember my Skingrad. I think it's the structure over here. So you wander in, wander over to the right, into the structure that is the inn. The barkeep looks up. What can I do for you? Not often we have adventurers wandering in the middle of the day, looking for something in particular. He begins just cleaning up the various goblets and dishes. Oh, nothing. This one just wants a drink. Walks goes ahead, collects a goblet and pitcher from the barkeep and settles into a corner to just listen to the patrons who come in and out. We will get back to you. Next up, for person who mentioned a direction they were going, Kayleen is heading to the blacksmith. So the blacksmith, you continue walking and end up heading up into the keep as the blacksmith is up in the secured quarter. And upon wandering in, there is just the constant ding, 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 followed by a quench, and you see a bit of steam rise up from one of the workshops. Accompanying you is Victor Bloodfallen. The blacksmith, upon seeing you enter, quenches the piece, kind of picks it up. It looks like he's hammering out some form of helmet. Doesn't appear to be near finished, but after inspecting it, it seems good. He sets it onto one of his anvils, sets down his hammer, and the Imperial, who honestly is robust enough, he could be he resembles a Nord in that aspect, comes over. Ah, yes. Customers. Mercenaries, by the looks of you. Gear, relatively shoddy. What can I do? Anything specific you're looking for? I am quite skilled with steelworks, and can even smelt some of the Dwemer material should you bring it to me. As you do this, slipping behind you is our Jirta Bosmer, who is slipping back up here into the granary of the keep. Must get a lot of customers here, Victor beginning the speech. Aye, we get a fair bit. I'll admit business has fallen off since the Oblivion Crisis ended, but with everyone having their own suit of armor, there's been no end to repairs. Heard any rumors from your latest customers? Honestly, the only thing that's been rumor-esque has been there's been a lot of leather work and tailoring done up for, honestly, a group of mercenaries like yourself that wandered through here. Red robes and leather inserts. I guess as an armorer, they thought I'd be able to do it, but I referenced them that there wasn't a tailor in Skingrad that they could trust, and recommended they be on their way. Be honest, I didn't like the look of them. They seemed to be looking you up and down every time you entered the room with them, just as if they were sizing you up, and I don't know, gives me the shivers. But they seemed honest folk. As soon as I told them I didn't have what they were looking for, they went on their way, didn't linger, didn't ask any other questions. Know which way they were headed, Victor follows up. No, don't reckon I did. If they were looking for tailor work, they'd be having to head to the Imperial City. But that was weeks ago. They could have been there and back if you're looking to find them now. Though, again, he looks at you, looks over your weapons. I'd imagine there's some business I'd rather not get myself sucked into, if you know what I mean. Whenever mercenaries start asking about where other mercenaries are, I'd rather not find out you were on the losing side and have the winners pay me a visit. So, you have your info. I'll return to my hammering. With that, he heads back over to the forge, gets the helmet, and just begins setting it in and firing up a bellows to heat it up and resume his work on the piece. Next up, we had Matthias. Right? No. Pimley. Medals with Glee, who was heading to the alchemy shop. So while the others had continued straight to get up to the keep, or turned right to deal with the inn, you've taken a left to end up in the merchant's district. Second shop, on the left, alchemy. A simple potion sign hangs outside the door. No name, no frills. Seems to be a basic type shop. Metals desires 3 ingredients to fortify health and 2 ingredients to fortify magics. The red guard woman kind of looks out. Yes. And she just pulls out a drawer, pulls out a couple leaves. I don't remember what the ingredients are, so we're just gonna wave it. But I do remember wheat for restore health. Can we go back to Kayleen? Yes, feel free to type in what you wanted to ask. And then pulls out a couple roots and sets them out. This should do, and upon asking for payment, you present the voucher. She looks it over. This appears to all be in order. Anything else I can help you with? Inspect the blades, ask something more personal. Fine sharp as Freya's tongue. I'm looking for something interesting and sharp. Something which could match the might of this old armor. Which, by the way, do you know the ways of restoring it? He looks over the armor. I'll be honest. If you're saying it's broken, I don't really see how. Have you seen many travelers recently? Down in the alchemy shop. Looks over. No, can't say that I have. As she, if you may roll a speech check. As an Argonian, she is innately distrustful of you, given the current state of Black Martian rebellion. Looking for some friends who are supposed to have passed through Skingrad. Khajiit merchants. I will await the roll. As usual, it is a D20 roll, and I believe your speech skill. You have speech skill, so you're able to roll a D20, and then you add 1. It is exclamation point roll. Then I think it's D20. Exclamation point roll space D20. I don't remember if it does D20, but there we go. That exactly like Dragonborn did. Except don't roll as badly as Dragonborn did, because he got a 4. I'm going to ignore the pun that says, there we go. Rolled an 8. Oh, bugger. How do I keep forgetting my dice? Give me a second. They should be in here somewhere. There. Dice, dice, dice. I have metal dice. I like my metal dice. Let's see. Let's remove the 3 pencils I always have. I used to have like 8 pencils in this. No, my rig dice are my pink dice. The pink dice murder people. I have the pink dye out. We will use... I should just dump these out, but I'm having to just sort through them. There we go. We've got a gray dye. Oh, I do not have a point in speech. I was looking at Matthias. She looks you over. Khajiit merchants? No, wow, sorry. Khajiit merchants? Yes, the Khajiit merchants, they would have headed south. And as she gives you that info, she turns and returns to a mortar and pestle where you see her beginning to crush up some dust that she's acquired. Every now and then turning to a cutting board and slicing some leaves. The metal... Alright, back to the blacksmith with Kayleen. Well, dear blacksmith, the metal has begun to grow a bit soft. It could use a good tempering, and that could possibly restore the enchantment on the armor. But I suppose, Bose, it's best I asked an enchanter. Do you know anyone reliable? One second. A lore master. Lore master. What was the Mages Guild called? Not the Mages Guild, the Arcana?
Arcane University.
There we go. Yes, so I would recommend checking out the Arcane University in Cyrodiil.
Thank you.
They have the best enchanters you're going to have access to. And I'm certain if you're looking to train yourself up in enchanting, if you're looking to restore it, they're probably taking students. Metals concludes her conversation with the alchemist and leaves. As for Walks in Darkness, we will be getting back to the patrons in the inn. I haven't forgotten you, trust me. We good. Next up, I believe, was Jirta, the Bosmer, who was checking at the granary. So you've wandered up. In the back tower, there's a sunken pit that is boarded off and appears to have 2 guards standing in front of it. With your knowledge of castles, that would appear to be the granary. The guards, both standing there, giving you odd looks, as they would not expect others to have been up here, and you're given a choice on what you do real quick here. They missed an opportunity with that window to have 9 circles around it, because I think it's a priest of the 9 cathedral. Hello, sirs. Have you seen any hungry thieves? The guards, 2 Imperial guards, looking at each other. No, sir. We have not. May I ask why you were inquiring? Are you looking for thieves in particular? Quick save and then slaughter all the townspeople. It failed. You've reloaded your save. I have been hunting rascals of a thieving kind, and was wondering if maybe they had wanted to steal some food from here. They shake their head. No, worst that happens is there had been a murder in one of the back alleys of the town. Terrible business. The individual had been torn apart, and if they had guessed any better, it would have been wild beasts. But the offender was caught, and the Count himself has attended to his punishment. Aisha, you must not have heard. He can't do anything for the armor. As far as he's looked at it, he says the armor appears to be fine. Which would either indicate you would need a higher level blacksmith, or that the armor is indeed fine. And so he can't do it. Dragonborn looked at the weapons and then headed to the inn. We're going to get to the inn. Trust me, I haven't forgotten about it. We good. Craft as many potions with the ingredients you just acquired. Go for it. You've got it. Is the Count available for a visit? The prisoner might be a person of interest to me, and I would like to talk to him. They nod, kind of point away up and say, the Count keeps an open court, so you're welcome to wander in at your leisure. We're just going to have a picture of Farkas on a throne, and that's going to be our Count. It's the way it's going to work. If the members of the Fighters Guild had anything good. Alright, so we cut to the inn. So before the armory people wandered back in. Alright, so the three of you who were up here, that's going to be Dragonborn, Aisha, and Wadower. You guys are going to begin coming down. We're going to cut back to the inn where we have Walks in Darkness. So, as you're sitting there at the inn, just in your corner, it's not long before all of the patrons have basically forgotten the Argonian mercenary sitting in the corner. Patrons have gone about their business, and for the first 5 minutes, there's really nothing of note. But as you're going up and to get a drink, you can just hear a whisper from one of the tables. That's one of them. They're in the progress of or they're oppressing the elves, chasing them out. And there's just hushed whispers as people are watching your Argonian form make your way up, and each table you walk past just falls silent. You get your drink, return to your table, and conversation resumes up. But it isn't long before you're able to spot that 2 or 3 of the patrons had gotten up and left. What's the term? Bosmer? Yes, Bosmer had gotten up and left, but really had left a lot of their stuff as if they were intending to return. Actually, I don't even need this on. There's no sound. We'll just go like this. I don't have to have the headset on my head just crushing my brains. I'll sneakily take a look at all their belongings. Alright, go ahead and roll me a sneak check. You have 1 point in sneak, so you may roll a d20, because it is trained. So you're going to have to add a D before the 20, so it's going to be exclamation at roll a d20. There we go. Has a critical success. We are getting to you, Jamin, right after this. Because you went to the stables, if I recall correctly. So, ever so subtly, he gets up and just begins walking through as if he were to go get another drink. And with just a subtle stumble, nothing that would look out of the ordinary for an Argonian who's had a little bit to drink. You're not drunk, but you're putting on a show. And you just quickly knock your hands across their gear, and what you're able to see is that wrapped up in some of the cloaks, there are some empty dagger sheaths. Empty because the people who left apparently left with their weapons, but not the sheaths for those weapons. As you get up to the bar, you're able to and get your drink refilled as part of your charade. You turn around and you see that there are 5 individuals, 3 of which are those who had previously left, who have now walked in with 2 people carrying what would be pitchforks. And they appear to be looking all over, initially starting with where you were sitting, but now just kind of scanning around, and they've scanned over you a couple times. They don't appear to know where you are. I'll go ahead and walk into the inn at this point. You guys are en route to the inn. This is happening while you guys were up talking with the smith. Though, give me a second. Let me just put a circumstance die down. Call it. Odds or evens. Get it correct, you guys have shown up. Get it incorrect, you guys aren't there yet. Odds, I have an 8. Aisha, evens. Nope. First person, because you're all part of a group. You don't get to have one person in the group call each. I'm above him in my chat. DM's chat matters. So regardless, what are you going to do, Walks? Walks in Darkness, who is currently walking in darkness. Sneak out. Alright. Easily enough, you kind of just, you see them there. You also would know that there's probably, if the main entrance is going to be right here, there's going to be a back entrance right by this chimney, so you just kind of deftly walk through, loop out again, and you'll meet up with the group here in this crossroads. Distributes the potions in the following way. Let me copy that, and I will get that out into the inventory before we hit the next encounter. Alright. Matthias. So while the rest of you had gone out through the city, which you all have now arrived here and shared your information, Matthias stayed outside, and it's off our screen, but he went to the stable master. So the stable master has a couple horses just in his stables, one tethered to a wagon, and he just kind of looks over to you. Can I take you anywhere? You and your friends looking to go somewhere? You know who comes and goes. Have you seen anything suspicious? Go ahead and roll me a speech check. You have it trained. So go ahead and roll a d20. Rolled a 3. He looked you up and down. I know lots of people who are coming and going. He kind of makes a motion to his coin purse. Shame, I don't seem to remember anything. Alright, I have the potions noted for easy access by me. What might jog your memory? He just kind of shrugs. It's hard to say, really. Usually doesn't take much. Just, I don't know. Always did enjoy being able to feed my family. Carriage business isn't what it once used to be. I have coin, but the information better be good. Let me give him a knowledge roll just to see how much he knows. Okay. He kind of looks you in the eye and says, "Oh, I can make it worth your while." To which he extends his hand and says, "I'll have the fare, please." The last 4 to 5 agica. Pays him what I have. So I'll go ahead and your currency, I believe. Let me double check your character gear sheet. You're currently holding on to 3 tokens worth of coin. You're paying him 1 token worth of coin, which is just a small payment of cash. He kind of looks it over, pockets it. Ah, yes. So, I have 2 bits of information. You strike me as an intelligent foe, so you're here probably about the cultists who came through. Oh yes, I knew who they were. They asked enough questions that I started asking questions myself, and they were more than happy to oblige with answers. There's cultists of Hermea Mora. They've set up in the fortress near here. I'm contracted to, every week, go up there with my wagon. I load up whatever books they have, and I take them to Cyrodiil. Don't know who picks them up there, I leave them in a dead drop. Then every so often they'll contract me to take them to or from a city. They don't worry about return trips, but they pay very well. I assure you, whoever is funding them has plenty of money. Daedric cults have never been known for opulence, but I don't charge nothing for my services. An innocent middleman, why should I believe you? He just shrugs. There's really no reason you should, except if I were in on their schemes. Then I wouldn't be telling you anything. I'm just here to make money. There's no more soldiers to transport around with the Oblivion crisis no longer occurring. I've got a family to feed, and my sons who were in the militia are out of work. They're away from here, stranded down in southern Cyrodiil. I send them money when I can as they're trying to get back on their feet. It's not cheap, and I'll do what I need to get money. That said, cultists are cultists, and if somebody's willing to offer money for me to help get rid of them, I'm not going to shield them. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your son's service. He nods and kind of just gets to moving the money back into his coin purse. Any other services I can render you besides the information kind? I would like to know where to find these cultists. He is able to give you the exact route that he takes. As such, that would lead you off to the front of their fortress. As far as you're aware, the directions he is giving you perfectly match up with the rough directions given by Flavius. Alright, I shall leave you. You leave and return to the group. The group, you guys kind of meet up together. You arrive a little bit early, but enough to see Walks in Darkness sneaking out the backside of the tavern. The trio wandering down from the fortress. We should leave this place soon. Jirta comments about the murder that had happened in one of the back alleys, and that the Count, who holds an open court, had dealt with the matter personally. You're able to hear about the angry trio who are currently in the inn, potentially looking for Walks in Darkness. There's kind of the duplicate info. You guys know about the Hermea Mora cultists now. And the fact that they are transporting enough quantity of books that they would hire a wagon to do so on a weekly basis. Thinking through, I think that's all the information you guys gathered. The smithing was more giving you hints at their armor type being light medium. Kayleen, what did you do to anger them, lizard? So, not angry. Why must we Argonians be called lizard incessantly? I imagine the little frill popping up. Simply exist. Some in these parts have no kind feelings for us Argonians. What is said is absolutely accurate. So, as a party, you guys are going to need to decide where you are going. Northwest of here, generally up toward that mountain, is going to be where you guys are headed for the ruined fort. And the other alternative you guys have is dealing with the Count and investigating the murder. I gives you potions. Alright, we have one coming in from Walks in Darkness. I would like to speak with this Count. This murder could be important. Meanwhile, sorry, I gotta learn what these names are. Metals continues to talk. Dryskins, I give you potions. I empower you in battle. Yet where is the respect? As the party just continues to banter back and forth regarding the lizard, the entire group just moves back in the directions. The guards at the granary just begin seeing you and just seem to give you guys an odd look, just that as they're just marveling at the group conversing among themselves. And sure enough, you guys have walk in, and upon entering the chamber, a hush falls in, just as a door opening would. They look back, and you guys can see that there's a Count as well as two of his advisors who appear to be up and talking amongst themselves while he is listening. The Imperial who is there, greetings. What can I help you with? My name is Janus Hasiliador, Count of Skingrad. I will add Janus Hasiliador to our NPCs now that you have met a Count. Walks in Darkness steps up to speak to the Count. Yes, Argonian. Can I help you? We have heard you are keeping a prisoner here. We'd much enjoy a visit. My prisoners are the business of the Count and my advisors. I will inform you that you happen to be too late. The prisoner that we most recently interred has met his execution as of this morning. He was imprisoned for, and goes on to describe the crime you guys had previously heard of. in slightly more detail. He had murdered and begun ripping apart a body in cold blood in one of the back alleys. The victim was as far as he is aware, was the wife of one of the townspeople, worked in the farm outside. Nothing particular about them. No theft. Didn't appear to have any motive aside from cold-blooded murder. And the individual in question did not seem safe enough to leave imprisoned, as they appeared to be a flight risk. And as such, given the nature of their crime and their lack of remorse, he had them executed as soon as possible. Anything particular about the body? Anything particular about the body? I've still got to come up with a good Argonian accent. Was it missing anything? No. The Count just kind of looks you up and down slowly. No. It was, though shredded, intact. What are you implying? Let me see who we've got. Train. If you have a skill in perception, that would be Victor Bloodfallen and Walks in Darkness. You may both roll a perception check. Died 20. Both Imperials disappointed they missed the execution. Yep. So you look him up and down and begin just kind of looking around the room, and there appears just to be a tenseness in the air. But aside from that, nothing specific has been noticed. Good execution is a work of art. Sadly, one that we did in private, as I prefer to spare our citizens the public execution, given that we do not have a proper place to hold said execution. Cleaning blood off the streets and all. We already had to do that once. Victor, are you certain the man you killed was the murderer? The Count just kind of starts to answer, sits back. Yes, my dear Nord friend. He was covered in the blood of the deceased. We are certain. And as mentioned, his lack of remorse, he did not deny the killing. Rather, opted to beg for his life. Excuse the odd question, friend, but what was he wearing? Uncertain which one you were talking. The Fallen had some basic farmer's clothing on. Nothing abnormal. Trousers. The killer was wearing, he sits back to think, just some basic black robes. Nothing out of the ordinary. Beyond what any form of wizard or caster would wear. May I ask, mercenaries don't typically come around asking questions regarding a murder that happens in little old Skingrad. Why are you here? How did you catch the perpetrator? I will answer that question. I am curious as to your appearance in my city. Surely you are not vigilantes who are just going around seeking to end crimes after they have already occurred. Listen, friend, we have heard dark tidings. Worried we are that there is something more afoot than a mere murder. We're on a mission of some importance. We do not like to share secrets any more than you do. Understood. You work for someone high up within the Empire. There is no shame in that. There are many agents afoot. So, to get to your question, how did we catch this individual? The guards heard the commotion and were able to subdue the individual within minutes of the murder. Is there a chance This person you killed was either wrongly accused or part of what we are doing. Well, given that you have not told me what you are doing, I cannot be certain that he was a part of or in any way related to, though political murders do happen. And in terms of wrongly accused, he could have accused himself, in which case it is not likely he was wrongly accused. Did he put up a fight and try to flee? He specifically attempted to flee, though once that was deprived of him, he did put up a fight before being subdued. We are pursuing cultists. You do not need to know to what end. Understood. This individual was not likely related to your cultists. No paraphernalia of any religion or Daedric cult was found on his person. Khajiit got muddy, had to clean herself before joining. So where you guys are up in a talking with the Count of Skingrad regarding a murder that has happened in the city on your way to investigate the home of the cultists. Our Khajiits are cleaning themselves right now. Much clean, Khajiit. We now have a cat to join in the lizard's medals. One last thing before we go, Victor Bloodfallen speaking up. Was there anything else at the scene of the murder? Did the guards notice anything before subduing the prisoner? The Count looks at you. Yes, there are various details that are in the report. If you have something specific for what you are looking for, I may provide that answer, though I am not providing you the full report given the circumstances of not knowing your mission. Cultist hunting is good. I can agree with that. Though, I assure you, I have kept Skingrad clean, if that is what you are asking. I do not tolerate cultist filth in or around my city. With the rest of the party beginning to walk out. Go ahead, roll me a speech check, Jamin. Listen, you may ask many things of me. You may not wander in as agents of an unknown entity and begin asking for my government documents. You are leaving. Let us leave now in peace, and you may be on your way. Thank you very much. Fair enough, Count. Good day. The party departs. Wanders out, down around, out the front gate, and begins following the road and wagon trail that is to the northwest. My desks are broken. So you guys begin traveling, generally just keeping an eye out. The two who would be leading would be Victor Bloodborne and Walks in Darkness. As with their perception, they are the best at tracking the trail. And it isn't long before up ahead you hear the discharge of a bow and the yelp of a small animal, followed by cheering of, "Congrats, you got him! Good shot there." Oh yes, this one will make a fine hat. Stealth and go to investigate the voices. Alright, I will take a stealth roll from anyone who wants to sneak while the remainder of the party approaches in plain view. Alright, attempting to sneak. I'm just marking on my sheets who's attempting to sneak. What's going on right now? We are doing our Elder Scrolls RPG game. It is a custom RPG developed by myself and my wife, built in the Elder Scrolls universe. Nobody knows where the Khajiit went. Everyone else is hiding, but the Khajiit, or everyone else is like, all right, let's hide. Where'd the Khajiit go? Nobody knows. Nobody knows where the Khajiit is. As the remainder of you approach, you see two Imperials with arrows sticking out of a fox. as they begin looking around, they see most of you sneaking. The only one they don't see sneaking is the Khajiit. And they look at you and immediately just kind of step up and draw their swords. Not aggressively, but they immediately take up defensive statuses as they kind of reach for shields that were down on the ground. Halt there, mercenaries. What are you doing in these woods? They seem to be addressing Matthias as... Matthias? Yeah, Matthias, as he appears to be the... Well, he's the Imperial in the group, and they're dealing with him. Please ignore my foolish fellows. We mean you no harm. Understood. They sheath their weapons. And... So, we're going to need to fill out a report here. They immediately just kind of get it and they're like, okay, they kind of note down the races of who's traveling. May I ask as to by whose permission you are traveling up to the fort near here? We spoke with the Count. He said to clear out the cultists. I apologize. You are outside the dominion of Skingrad heading up. This fort is Imperial property. And you say there are cultists there. I apologize. We're going to have you turn away. This fort is secured under orders of the Emperor. You misunderstand. We do not believe it is secure. As various people speak up. We are agents of the Empire, but not officially. They look you over. Understood. I'll still need on whose authority, as even unofficially, the Count doesn't have unofficial domain here. Katya, our Khajiit, is able to see that there are 2 archers who are hidden back and concealed behind trees. Who, while these 2 have sheathed their weapons, both archers have their bows nocked and are in full Imperial garb. Some whispering from our Jirta, our Bosmer friend. We cannot divulge this information. Katya takes up a position behind the archers. All of the whispering, I am assuming, is not heard by them. Just so that is how you are free to communicate among yourself if you're whispering or thinking. Our mission is not to be stopped by fox hunters. I apologize. You will need to report to your superiors that the fort is secure. While we may be hunting foxes in our downtime, this is an official checkpoint. We will be on our way. Secure can be a quarantine, they mention. We are not to let any in or out, and to stop all travel along this road. Yeah, they are. Kitty trailed at me. We are operating under the orders of... I'm trying to think of an Imperial general who would have been active during this time. Because I didn't actually write this down. They give the name of an Imperial general under whose order they are stationed here. And the name checks out as an Imperial general from Cyrodiil. This is why you write everything. Yeah, I didn't think that. Understood. We will take note of who you are and your passing. You will be permitted to pass under our protest. We shall see who has the higher level contacts at the Emperor, or within the Empire. As you guys are permitted to pass, the archers, Katya can kind of release their hold on the bow, though remain hidden from the party at large. And you can see them noting your gear and races, as well as for all races, the features that would be identifiable to you. And with that, you are permitted to pass. Matthias, as he walks by, wise choice, fox hunters. Wise choice. So you all continue up the wagon trail, and before long, The abandoned fort stands in front of you. Destroyed partially, destroyed in large parts due to the Daedric invasion that had occurred. Large chunks of the wall collapsed, a tower gone, internal wooden structures long burned away. Catch up to the party while staying out of sight. You're still sneaking but following the party. Party has no idea where you went, but like a Mama Khajiit, you are watching over them. Are there any Imperial soldiers around? No. What you're able to see is that there is a door here that appears to be shut. And while this is crumbled, that's still a good 6 feet off the ground. Let us begin our approach in the shadows. So as it's getting toward evening, the shadow falls west over the plains. There's not really a good covered approach to it. When I catch up to the party, I'll let them know about the hidden archers. The party is aware now. You're able to get, if you want to sneak, you can attempt to get up to the lower level of brush at the start of the hill. I'll just walk in. So Victor Bloodborne, while those who want to sneak around begin sneaking around, Victor Bloodfallen, or not, are going to be like, we wait for evening. Alright. So let me pull up lanes to track who's going where. So stealthed off, we have Kim and we have Steph, both with decent stealth rolls. Matthias and Victor are walking up. Let me get a official roll for their visibility. Do these potions last for the duration of the encounter? Yes. But you need to drink them in the encounter. You may drink a single potion at the start of an encounter for free, i.e. on your first turn. In the same way you draw a weapon for free. Alright, that's 5 people. I think that's everyone. No, I don't have, I don't think I have Aisha's position. We will go ahead and advance you. So, the 3 of you advance up, begin just walking around while the remaining 3 of you kind of set up here in the brush, keeping low and stealthed. These pools do kind of go down 2 or 3 feet, so the Argonians are able to get low in them. When one sneaks, no need for clanking of armor, is whispered as the clanking armor brigade moves up to the door. As you approach the fortress, you guys can see a head pop up from the top battlements. Halt there. I inquire as to your presence here. Appears to be a Bosmer of... I think it's a Bosmer. Yes, a Bosmer of middle age. Official business. Officially, we're closed. You may leave. He sits up there just looking down at the 3 of you. We won't be dismissed that easily. Again, he looks down. I expect a Monty Python quote. No, I'm resisting. I am resisting the dark side. Well, you may not be dismissed that easily. What is it you want here, officially? Just do it. What is it? You want a grail? Oh, we already have one. You have one? May I see it? Well, no. Can I try to put some scare into them? You're welcome to try. Can I have a brief description of these guards? That's what they look like. This is the guy who is talking to you from on top of the rampart. Ignore that guy in the background. Ignore the Dwemer ruins. None of that is important. So Katya begins looking for a way to get over the walls. We're on a mission to investigate this place, so grant us entry and we won't overstay our welcome. He looks back down at you. Investigate for what? Our secrets are our own. This is our fort now. We won't be giving it over to any local group of brigands who attempt to show up and throw us out. What are 3 of you against all of us? Katya, you identify a place where, although the fallen down wall has largely been shored up, you imagine that with some scaling and teamwork you would be able to cross a lower section of the wall and gain entry into the lower courtyard. Perhaps you want to come down here and tell us what you said to your face. No. Tough words from a pointy-eared weakling. Ah, but I am a weakling with a castle, and you are brigands in a swamp. Metal sneaks over and offers the boost to Kim. 18. Let me check what the intimidation was again. Oh, but you don't have any idea, do you? This fort is of importance. There's an army behind all of these blades of grass around the area. What you're saying appears to shake them. Or shake him. But he quickly steels himself and says, even if there is an army, we can negotiate with that. I cannot trust to open the door for the 3 brigands. Sneaks over to help entry over the wall. The 3 of you, given time, are able to cross that section, unbeknownst to the rest of your party or to any residents of said fortress. What if you just let me in and we negotiate? Negotiate? You offer nothing. I have a castle. I'm not in a mood to negotiate. High fives to all the rest of the sneaky sneakies. Off of the courtyard, you see that there's 2 main rooms. A lower room that would appear to be some form of guard or storehouse on the base level, and then the main keep. The main keep would be the building that has our quote-unquote pointy-eared weakling in it. Though he would be on the top, and there's at least 3 stories. I wish to use further intimidation, if nothing else to distract the weakling. Go for it. Look, I am done having these discussions with you. You may leave now. And he disappears from view. Kayleen proceeds to punch the wood gate to see if she can break it. It would require extensive use of your weapons to break it. So, let's go back to, just right click? No. Nope. Ignore everything there. So you guys are here at the first level. You guys could sneak into the main room. You guys are not. You guys are currently in the courtyard. The sneakers listening in to that door, you guys are able to hear that there do appear to be at least 2 or 3 individuals inside that room. I did indeed read it, Aisha. Oh, you wanted me to read it out loud, so, what? Oh, it's not Katya. Kayleen says, as she's punching it, you are trying my patience. Stop playing games, or I will make the Played and Meld of the Second Era look like a joke. Discussions continue in short-breathed whispers in the courtyard. Outside, the 3 of you standing in front here look up to see a individual staring down, a human individual of pale skin staring down at you. Greetings. You may leave now. Walk away from my door, or I start casting. You see him begin to prep a spell and fire dances above his hand. Did we see any other signs of life while sneaking in? Not in the courtyard. There are some form of guards in the main door. And then there was the guardhouse or storehouse. Can I throw my axe at him? Not effectively as a weapon. Can I throw a dagger? not effectively as a weapon. There are specific throwing weapons, and I can assure you, as someone who has done knife fighting, throwing most daggers does not help. The main gate is the one that has the main gate leads into the keep, not the courtyard. Alright, the sneaks are in favor of attacking. So we'll go ahead and jump to the sneaks in combat. Though, at the sound of commotion, this guy's going to the person speaking down and threatening is going to immediately disappear. So, with that, we go to combat. Let me duplicate this. Let's go ahead and expand this out. You guys are going to start in retreat lane 1 as you guys are functionally outside the door. Whoever is first or whoever wants to roll the sneak check to open the door may go on it. Grumbles about being outside while the cats and the lizards get to have all the fun. It's true. 14. Upon opening the door, they do not appear to see that you guys have opened it, as they're focusing on the door. Katya, I just rolled up initiative. You're up first. Which, for your guys' reference, is on the Google Docs sheet. Yep, as of yet, there's not combat, so you guys are still talking with Dude. Sneak up behind and knock them out. Alright, go ahead and roll me an attack. They will be defending with a D10 as they are unaware. It'll be an attack roll, Dragonborn, because you're going to be attempting to break the door. Still a D20? Yes, if you use stamina. If not, it'll be a D10. Rolls the 20. Critical hit? Alright. So, the nearest one in robes, just kind of taking the rapier, flipping it back over, and then using the heavy pommel strike, just bringing it over and crack into the back of the first of the guards. Now, critical with a sword means double damage, which is also then doubled because it's a sneak attack. So, what would normally be for, let me find her, Queen, a 1 damage hit is a 2 damage hit, which is a 4 damage hit, and he is slumped over unconscious. That said, the other two are now aware of this, as all of a sudden their friend is just clobbered and goes down. Matthias, you are the first person to, or sorry, I hit a soft spot. Sorry, back up to the top of initiative. Kayleen Emberheart, you are the first to react to it going down. You may either roll a D10 versus the door, which objects have a D8 defense, or you may do a power attack for even more damage. We were attack at the same time? Your other people will still have stealth, yes. You are the only person who has lost stealth. Power attack. Go ahead and roll. I see you roll, Dragonborn. When it is appropriate, we will use it. Do I need to roll a D10? You will roll a D20 as a power attack. First went down. Park is looking up, going, I want up. Poor kitties. Crit. That's probably, so you guys have 2 crits off the bat. That poor door. Alright, you are using a dagger. Kayleen Emberheart, dagger. Yes? Yes. 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 A sword? Alright, let me update you. Alright, Dragonborn, all good. I still have your roll, so we will still get to you. So the sword, you're functionally using it as a piercing weapon. You just take it, double damage again. Well, it's not a sneak attack, so just straight up double damage. Does 2 damage to the door, and you're able to loosen the top hinge, seeming to break what is the rusted metal. Matthias, you're up next. I wish my D20 in real life rolled this well. 16. Hits, does another point of damage, begins cracking the support at the upper bit. So there's 2 metal bars that run across the door, an upper and a lower. capitalizing on the upper hinge breaking, just continuing to hack away at the top, and you can begin to see the wood pulling away from the reinforced steel. Walks in darkness. You are up next. You currently have stealth. So to perform an attack, you can either roll a d10, which there's no reason to unless you're out of stamina, or you may spend a single point of your stamina, which you have 3 points, to perform a d20 attack. I would recommend doing that. It is automatically a stealth attack, so they're going to roll a d10 in defense. He rolled a 5, which compared to your 8, plus you are using a melee attack. So just a straight roll. You are going to hit for 2 damage. He goes down. Just a dagger shanked up between the ribs, straight in, kills him outright. Jirta, in the back with the bow. The door has been opened and you have a clear line of fire. And 3 points of stamina to play with. Power bot attack. I'm assuming that's a bow, but yes. Go ahead and roll up. Nine is a hit from stealth. There's no one left to hide from, so you automatically keep your stealth. Normally with bows, you're allowed to re-roll to continue hiding. However, in this case, the guard is dropped. Dragonborn uses his melee attack. He had rolled and hits, damages the door. The top half of the door is now leaning in. All that's holding it up is a strained bottom hinge and bottom reinforcing. Metals, everyone in the room is dead. It is your turn. What do you wish to do? Let us in. Just run up, open the door. You don't need to use stamina. It's easy. You're right there. You open it up and just kind of, the door falls and just kind of swings open on that bottom hinge, just letting out just a of metal grinding on metal and being pushed beyond its straining limits. And as it gets all the way back, it looks like it would fall over, but somehow just manages to stay attached. All right. One is unconscious. The other 2 are dead. Yes. And the one who's unconscious looks like he's going to stay that way for a very, very good long time. You guys had to go and destroy a perfectly good door. Eye rolls at the crazies rushing through. Walks would like to proceed into the keep stealthily. So as you guys begin moving around, there's a stairway that kind of leads up this tower, to which there is a door that would lead off to the 2nd floor, or you may continue up to the top. As you approach the 1st level door, both Victor and Walks would be able to identify that there are people on this level, but you're not able to discern how many. Follows a lane behind. All good? That means it's going to be up to Victor Bloodfallen then, if you guys are following the melees, because he is the one who's up front. I'm heated after that door business. Are you going into the 2nd level for a fight, or are you going up to the top, where you saw quote-unquote pointy-eared weakling? The weakling is mine. Top. All right, so you guys run up the stairs past whatever room is there, and at the top, you are greeted by weakling, and as you crest, you just hear the summons just... I can't reproduce the sound. I really should have pulled some sound effects. But the summoning sound, and up on the top, you see 2 keepers flanking weakling, who is also accompanied by various cultists. I'll let the berserkers go ahead of me. They haven't had any fun yet. That's not combat. That's stats. Where's combat? Keepers Walks does not like this. What you guys are confronted with is keeper, weakling. 2 people who appear to be casters, as well as 3 cultists. You all will be going first. Let me go ahead and roll up initiative. On your turn, if you are looking to consume a potion, this first turn you may do so for free. Let me know. If you were stealthed and are a stealth character, you are automatically assumed to be stealth. So Katya assumed stealth, Jirta assumed stealth, Walks assumed stealth, Metals assumed stealth. We will start off with Katya. I'll ask you about consuming your potions. Alright, fine. We'll do potions first. Fortify Health for Jamin, Dragonborn, Magicka. And Steph with a Fortify Magicka. Metals does not have a point stealth. I'm being confused then. So Metals is not stealth. Stealthed, not stealthed. And Metals is drinking her potion. Which one did Metals have? Oh, that's right. You had a Fortify Health. Alright. First person up, Katya. The way movement works, you may move up to 2 lanes, or you could expend a point of stamina and move up to 3 lanes. You are hidden. People here do not see you. Go for it, Dragonborn. Although I'll say Flame Spell is going to be out of range, so you're not going to be able to hit. Because Flame Spell has a range of 1. I'm going to try to get behind the magic casters. Walks, you are up. No, who's up next? Matthias is up next. Matthias moving forward too. Metals. Not stealthed, but also has first level illusion. Jirta going to be shooting weakling with a power attack. You're welcome to go ahead and roll for that. Doesn't know you're there, so has to roll a d10. Rolls a 10. Defenders 1 tied, so the arrow misses weakling. Go ahead and roll a stealth check to remain hidden. You don't remain hidden. Not unless you're going to nat 20 that roll. Cast Courage on Matthias. Do note that the Courage buff to health will not stack with his Fortify Health. Yeah, so your arrow misses weakling and he seems to know where you are. You are revealed. Do it anyway? Okay. It does buff his stamina, so that is helpful. My rolls today. Kayleen, you are up next. Reminding myself who had the Destruction 3. That was off-brand. Who is left in initiative? Literally just you. A couple people moved out of initiative, but that's fine. That keeps our game moving. This is not a hard and fast. We just want to keep going. Oh, what about enemies? You have the 2 keepers, weakling, the 2 mages, and the 3 cultists. Literally everyone who started. There have been no casualties yet. Gonna start running for the keepers. Alright. So you can move 2. Or you can burn a point of stamina, which you have 1 point of stamina, to move 3. It is likely best you move 2. Yep, you agree? Beautiful. Alright. So the keepers, seeing Jirta appear, the weakling kind of gestures to the mages and points over there. Jirta, they're going to be making a power magic attack versus you, so you need to roll a d10 for your defense. The attack is a 9. Rolls a 10! Beautiful! So you just quickly get out of the way of the keeper's attack. Metals, you are up next. It is using a... using a power magic attack versus you. The attack is a 2, your defense is a 5+. You are also fine. So with the keepers both missing, the cultists all use a point of stamina to sprint into combat. and begin engaging. Having promptly burned their stamina after being ordered into combat, they begin basic attacks. First one versus Matthias, which means they're rolling a d10. Looking all matrixy up there. Keepers are supposed to be a threat. Apparently not. Apparently they're just, they're waffling. So Matthias has the option of rolling a d10 basic attack or spending a point of stamina for a d20 defense. Rolled a 5. The attack was a 6. That is going to be a hit. They're just using basic daggers. So it was going to do 1 point of damage. Your current health, which was 3, goes down to a 2. Armor. Let me double check your defense. Oh, yes, you have a defense buff of 1. I was wrong. So your 5 is buffed to a 6, which matches their 6, and defenders win ties. Disregard me. The second one is going to attack Dragonborn. Basic attack rolls an 8. And then Kaylee is going to have to roll a defense herself, or Kayleen is going to have to roll a defense herself against a basic attack. Scrolling up for Dragonborn's last roll. So, Aisha, I'm going to need either a d10 for a basic defense or burn your 1 point of stamina for an active defense. Rolls d10, rolls a 4. You have a buff of 3 to your defense, so you are fine. I'm here, what did I miss? You are being attacked with a d10 attack. You may either, well, no, actually, you just get a d10 for your defense. You don't get to roll a d20 because you're not using a shield or anything. Because you've got Destruction Spell in one hand, Weapon in the other. While we're waiting on Dragonborn, the 2 mages will go ahead and cast buffs onto Weakling. Weakling is then going to draw his bow and proceed to use a power bow attack versus Jirta. Armor doesn't give me a d20? No, it buffs your d10. The only way you can defend with a d20 is to have a shield and one-handed, or if you're dual-wielding in melee or a two-handed in melee. Hey, Sheriff Torchwood. Salutations. Has a 9 attacking Rennis. Rennis rolls a 10. Rennis dodges another d20 with a basic defense. Oh! Hacks, apparently. Victor Bloodfallen is less lucky and catches a dagger. Well, you'd have rolled a 3 versus an 8. Yeah, no, you don't even have... What's your defense? Your defense is +1. So you're going to go from 2 health down to 1 health as the dagger connects. Doing pretty good. I hope you are doing fine yourself. Back into player order. Katya. 2 move would put you behind a keeper. You may use a point of stamina to get behind Weakling or one of the mages and perform an attack. I think I'm going to stop rolling d20s and just roll d10s today. Yeah, your 20s have been pretty terrible. 10s, though. 10s have been pretty clutch. Move up behind a mage. Alright, so we go ahead. You are down to 1 point in stamina remaining. You may perform an attack at your leisure. D20 for burning your last point of stamina, or to use a D10 for a normal attack. As it's a stealth attack, he is using a D10. Rolls a basic attack. Basic attack is 7, +2 for dual wielding. Their defense is 3, +2 for their skill in light armor. So 5. 5 is a hit. It is a sneak attack, does 2 damage. The mage has 2 hit points. He is staggered. Which, for reference, that means he is going to decide to either fight or flee on his turn. Oh wait, no, we had been ruling critical attacks are instant takedowns. My bad. Keep forgetting my own rules. So yeah, he's dead. One of the keepers fizzles out of existence. Next up, Matthias. You are in melee with a cultist. So yes, a quick coming out of the shadows, brandishing the parrying dagger, rapier, straight through, around the spine, into the vital organs. 18 of 20. Very clear hit. Mace comes down on his head, does 1 point of damage. He is staggered. He will decide to fight or flee. Actually, I'm using italics there. I think I'll just put the stats down here like I was doing last time. Victor Bloodfallen. He had already rolled us his attack for melee. It hits. He is going to stagger his cultist. Kayleen, you are up. Sword in hand. Perform thy attack. Matthias, it is worth mentioning you are now down to 1 point of stamina. But still at 3 points of health. Are all the keepers gone? No, there is one keeper up, but you are in melee with a cultist. And until at least one of the cultists is killed, you cannot advance. I heard a little sigh from a kitty. Little kitty that did a roll and did a... Strike the cultist with your sword. Go ahead and roll up. Scores a crit. So that is going to do the point of damage to stagger it. Double for 2. Cultist is dead. Been a lot of crits tonight. It's been pretty nice. Do note you are out of stamina for this encounter. Jirta, you're up next. You have your bow and are currently reviewed. Power attack the keeper. Alright, go for it. Keeper rolls a 9 on its defense. 9 is greater than 4. Arrow misses. And yeah, them D20s not helpful. Alright, Walks, you are up next. Lane 3. You may move twice, and then you are by a keeper, or you may use a point of stamina to get behind one of the either mage or weakling. Alright, sneak up behind him using a stamina point. You are down to 2 stamina. Go ahead and you may either make a power attack or roll a normal attack. Do magic attacks get sneak bonus? Yes. If you're using a instant. So novice spells, no. You only have access to novice. So you would need to use a melee attack if you want the sneak attack bonus. Sweepy kitty cat. Sweepy kitty kitty cat. We'll have to give them belly rubs. Power sneak attack with dagger. Alright, roll up your attack. We'll take weakling alive rather than the mage. Rolls a 7. It is a D10 on the defense. Also rolls a 7. Buffs to your attack. With dagger, you have 0 buffs. They get 2 buffs. Your sneak attack misses, and you are revealed. The mage kind of just seeing his buddy goes down, just inadvertently is turning around. And he steps back just in time to get out of your swing. Weakling, seeing that they've got 2 stealth characters here, has the keeper focus on Jirta while they're going to deal with these 2. I need to roll for the cultist real quick. Odd fight, even flee. Both cultists have opted to flee and are pushing past out of melee as they're attempting to run for the front door of the keep. On laptop now? Beautiful. Alright, power magic attack versus Jirta. Go ahead and roll me a d10. You're not getting out of this one. Sad to say. Has a 18 to hit. You are at 0 health and staggered. You will need to choose whether you're going to continue to fight or flee should the combat continue on. The mage, seeing that you are likely melee, fires off a power... I gotta look at the spell name. I think it's Ice Spike. Fires off an Ice Spike at Kim. Kim, you may not power defend versus magic. Rolls a 21 to hit. So that's going to be a hit. Oh wait, critical defense still hits. Only crits are attack. Ice Spike does 2 points of damage, dropping you to 0, and drains 1 point of stamina, dropping you to 0. You are staggered. Weakling kind of pulls his bow over and focuses on Walks in Darkness, the Argonian. Fires off a basic attack. That's going to be a 6 to hit. It is ranged, so you need to roll a d10 for defense. 1, that's going to be a hit. You are now staggered, meaning you've taken 1 point of damage. You're at 0 health. Yeah, no, this took a turn. The cultists are fleeing. We are back into order. Katya, you need to decide whether you're going to continue to fight or you're going to try to pull back. Flee does not mean you are abandoning the battle. It just means you are retreating to where it is safe to heal up. Was Metals skipped? I must have skipped Metals, yes. Metals, you're free to do whatever you want right now. And then we'll get to you in normal initiative. Somehow I skipped you. Cast Courage on Jirta. Does that bring her to 1 hit point? It does, yes. And it restores a point of stamina. Because Jirta did not have a Fortify effect up. I'm verifying that. Correct. Jirta did not have a Fortify up already. So, like, you can't Fortify Jamin again. Alright, I'm going to stab the mage. Go ahead. You have 0 stamina, so it's going to be a basic attack. The mage has no defense, so it's basic defense. I dropped my d10. We're going to grab a new d10. Rolls a 2. Compared to rolling a 4. Dual wielding has a +2. They have a +2 for defense. The mage is fine. He got out of the way. There's my die. We're good. I have a plus for dual wield. Yeah, you have +2, but it's not enough to overcome their +2 for defense. And their roll, which was 2 higher than you. So your total is 4, but their defense was 6 once all buffs are included. Oh, you are dual wielding, so you may roll a second attack. Because dual wielding gives you 2 attack rolls. Your number to beat is 6, which means you need to roll at least a 5. Rolls a 9, that hits. He is staggered. Because he doesn't re-roll defense, he keeps his defensive roll from the previous one. He will decide if he is going to fight or flee on his next turn, provided he gets a next turn. Jamin, you're up next. The Keeper is going to be keeping you out of melee with Weakling. You are also welcome to delay initiative if you want someone else to engage the Keeper. Oh, looks like we're doing a power attack on the Keeper. Let's see, it's using a basic defense. That is going to be a hit. The Keeper fades into just being empty robes. As your mace connects with its squishy tentacle body. Victor Bloodfallen, you're up next. You can move 2 and use a destruction spell. Or you may move 3 using a point of stamina. You do not have a point of stamina, so you may move 2 and use a destruction spell should you wish. Alright, are you casting on the mage or on Weakling? Either one's going to get a d10. I just need to know what I'm adding to their defense. Weakling, let's see, what's your destruction? You get +1, so that is a 10 for your destruction. Weakling has a 10 for his defense. Yep, when we get to you, Jirta, you're going to be able to just continue in combat. You'll be good. So that is going to be a miss as Weakling managed to get out of the way of your destruction spell. Kayleen, you are up next. Do you have any ranged attacks? No. Nor do you have any stamina, so we're just going to go ahead and advance you. You're welcome to contradict me should you wish. Metals, you're up next. Because I skipped you again. I hold back to recover stamina. You need to end the encounter to recover stamina. The only way to regain stamina is via spell or potion. Alright, so if I'm staggered, what can I do in my turn? We will get to that. Now, bear in mind, these cultists are fleeing. You are in melee with the cultists if you're wanting to deal with them. Otherwise, they're going to go out the front door. Because if they get past that retreat lane, they're gone. That is true, Dragonborn. A steel enchant would work as well. Move forward too. Alright. Jirta, you're up next. You have 2 points in stamina remaining and 1 point in health still remaining. And are no longer staggered. You're staggered. Normal attack the fleeing cultists. Alright, go ahead and roll your d10. Rolls a 1. It goes wide. Well, what's your range bonus? You have a 2 to range. So your 3 attack to their 2 defense is still a hit. Because you have the +2. So your attack is a 3 versus a 2. So one of the cultists goes down. And that's going to leave us to Walks in Darkness. So what options you have being staggered is you must decide now if you are going to fight, at which point you can continue fighting at 0 hit points, but if you take 1 more point of damage, you're out until you guys get back at a major city. Read Cyrodiil. Or you may choose to flee, which is the equivalent of falling back to regain your strength. And basically you'll just retreat off one of the retreat lanes. And once you're off, then you're fine. And we've got Farkas snoring. Yes, you still get XP, it's just you will not be able to participate in any further encounters. All people who are here, and even those who aren't here, still level up until we hit level 5. At which point it will be only people who are present for a session who will level up. Because up until level 5 is kind of the tutorial. I will flee. That is a safe call. I'm going to leave you on there, but, well, actually, no, you're still here. You just kind of start backing up, nursing the wounds you took from arrow to the knee. With that, mage, odd fight, even flee. The mage has chosen to flee and begins breaking for the front gate. The reason they are fleeing this way is they're not trying to just get out of combat. They're trying to leave, which they need to go this way. Otherwise, they would be fleeing the other way. Are we just down to Weakling? Yes. Weakling, seeing that you are gunning for him, draws his bow and fires at you. He has an 8 to attack. 7 plus 1 for your armor means you are going to... The arrow is going to hit, but it's going to glance off Jamin's armor. Matthias's armor. Katya. We're back in initiative order. Oh, cultist. Run! Alright, Katya, you are up. I'm assuming we're going to go for a stab. You do not have any... You don't have any points in stamina, so it's going to have to be basic attacks. 8 is a hit. Roll up your second attack. 10 is a hit. That is 2 attacks. He has taken 2 points of damage. Matthias, you are up next. 1 step forward. Go ahead and perform an attack. You do not have any stamina, so it will be a basic attack. His defense is 8. So you will need to roll a 7 to beat him. 5 plus 2 is a 7. 7 is less than 8. Shout, don't kill him. We'll make sure he gets captured. Metals, you are up next. Out of Magicka. Can I run forward and attempt to grapple? Yeah, you can roll a unarmed attack. If successful, you will tackle and subdue him, we'll say. Because I don't have a proper grappling system. Yep, burns a point of stamina to close the distance. and a point of stamina for a power attack, rolls a 4, plus 0. However, our opponent, weakling, rolled a 1, plus 2, which is a 3. Therefore, weakling is subdued. Normally, basically he had 1 hit point left, and so instead of staggered, we're just going to go with subdued. Victor, you're now up. There's a mage behind you running, and there's a cultist way behind you running. I've got multiple new mechanics. It's a work in progress system. We are building it as we go along. I have the basics for us to play. Basic attack. Yup. Go ahead and roll it up. That's going to be a hit. The mage is no more. I'll start cleaning blood out of my fur. Kayleen. All targets have been subdued. Jirta, you're the last person who can act to attempt to stop the cultist from getting away. You have point in stamina remaining. Two is not sufficient. Our cultist escapes. That said, the encounter is over. Everyone's stamina and health regenerates. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to call it there. We will pick up next session with the weakling captured and continuing to explore the fort. And there he is. Poor little weakling. That wasn't even his name, but I like it, so we're going with it. Keepers be kaputs. He spoke like a weakling and fought like one too. I enjoyed it.